we are holding by Yatsa Menachem, 2 dots. Tet Zayin Amud Bet. Okay, I'm trying to go out of town next week. So I next week means Tuesday and Wednesday. So you don't miss me so much. Huh? Hopefully, maybe if Nathan is back, hopefully he's supposed to go for 2 weeks. If he's back, he's gonna do it. But let's see who could find. As of now, I don't have any. I'm supposed to have the plan. I don't have a plan yet. I'm hoping to go out.
When's the vacation is that early?
Huh?
When's the vacation?
Yeah. Okay. No, actually 20th. Where's 20th?
No, that's in
It's 2 weeks. Okay, it's 2 weeks. Okay, it's his birthday today.
My
Goyish birthday. Okay. Okay, so we mentioned yesterday, if you remember, the Machloket Hillel and Shammai. We said in the beginning was Menachem, Lo Machloket. Then Menachem left. He wasn't Abedin anymore. Shammai came, and then Machloket started about the Semicha, leaning on the animal on Yom Tov is allowed or not. So now, Gemara says that we said I believe in the Mishnah, Yatsa Menachem. Menachem went out. What does it mean he went out? Lehechan Yatsa. Where did he go? Abaye Amar. Abaye said, Yatsa letarbut ra'ah. Woohoo. He says, Menachem, he went out after derech, basically. Yeah. Tarbut ra'ah. In a bad way. The wrong path. That's what happened. Okay? That's what he's saying over here. Because he says he went out. Some say he baked like a baitosim. What are the baitosim? Baitosim like Sudukim. Baitosim, they don't believe in Torah Shebe'al Peh, in the oral Torah.
Why do you call it not Sudukim?
Okay? Sudukim is a little bit different than baitosim. Rava Amar Yasa La'avodat HaMelech. Rava says he went out and he basically became a part of the government, I think, to work for the government, which is Hordus, one of the kings that time.
Was he able to? Is that a
So I don't know, is it bad or good? I don't know.
They say like he did it for good reason.
What is it?
Here I don't know exactly who says it, but some Mepharshim says that he did it for good reason. To fight the Zerot that was against the people.
Very nice. Ben Ishchai says, Ben Yehoyada, even Abaye, that's what it means. Abaye said he went Tarbut Ra'ah, in the wrong path. What does it mean? It means also he went in a way of the way that those non-Jewish kings would go. Okay? That's what it means. Okay, I don't know exactly what he did, but that's exactly. Okay. Tanya Nami Hache, we know also the same way, like the Rava. Yatsa Menachem la'avodat hamelech, v'yasa imo shemonim zugot talmidim lebushin sirokon. Menachem went to the work for the king, and also went with him out 80 pairs of talmidim, students, lebushin. They were wearing sirokon. Sirokon is a kind of the Bigdei Melech. That's basically Bigdei Malchut, the clothing, the kind of clothing that the king would wear. Okay. Now we're gonna go. This is basically some inside information. It has nothing to do with us, our sugya, what we are learning over here. But we know where he went. Okay, that's Menachem. Now we're gonna go back to our Mishnah. We have different discussions about are you allowed to do semicha leaning on the animal or animals for the korban on Yom Tov or not? Or you should do it before Yom Tov. Amar Rav Shimon bar Abba, Amar Rabbi Yochanan. Leolam artehe shevut kala beinecha. What is shevut? This is what I want to teach you one word today. What does shevut mean? Do you know? Shevut is coming from the word Shabbat, right?
Yes.
Certain things that you're not supposed to do, they call it shevut. Which is on Shabbat. Certain things you're not supposed to do, they call it shevut. Anytime they say shevut, means isur midarabanan. Okay? The things you cannot do on Shabbat and Yom Tov, they call it shevut. Okay? That's how it goes. They say, don't think the thing is like a shevut, which is the midarabanan, kalla be'enecha, should not be light in your eyes. You should not disgrace. You know what? Okay, it's only the Rabbanan. No. Don't take it so lightly. Shehare semicha ein ala mishum shevut. The only reason that we are saying we are not allowed to do semicha, leaning on the animals on Shabbat on Yom Tov, which is we're talking about Yom Tov here, is only midrabanan, right? Nechlegu ba gedol hador. Even though it's the Rabbanan, or gedolim, they have a discussion. Is it mutar or is it asur? So don't take it so lightly. So only the Rabbanan. No. Don't look at it that way. Gemara says, Peshita. Who says we are going to do that? Of course, we're going to respect. We're not going to put down. We're not going to look down to something that Chachamim told us to do. What Rabbi Shimon, the name Rabbi Yochanan is coming to teach us. So he says, Gemara answers back, Shevut misva isterichale. We are talking about that Rabbi Yochanan coming to teach us, you should not put down, should not disgrace even Isur Shevut, which is it has a misvah. Why? Huh? I believe. Yeah.
So it doesn't overcome the Isur?
Not always, but first of all, I have the question is, the discussion is over here. Do you need to do semicha leaning right before shechita? That's the discussion. So if you are allowed to do it the day before, you're doing the mitzvah anyway. Okay? First of all. Second of all, we have certain mitzvot that Chachamim, they could approve it. For example, Chachamim made a gezerah that you cannot blow shofar on Shabbat. Chachamim made a gezerah that you cannot use the lulav and etrog on Shabbat. Okay? So maybe over here the same thing. But we are not talking about approving it. The discussion is, are you allowed to do it? Does it work to do it the day before or not? That's the question. Okay? So we are talking about the shevut that has a mitzvah, because semicha is a mitzvah. Still, Chachamim, they have a discussion about it. Gemara says, Hanami Peshita. In the Mishnah, the Varim Shel Mitzvah, Shasu Chachamim. You cannot do on Shabbat. So Gemara says, Le'apuke miman da'amar bismicha gufa pelegi. Is coming to exclude, according to the one who says, the semicha itself, leaning itself, it's a machloket. What's going on over here? Rabbi Yochanan is coming to teach us about the semicha, coming to exclude. He's going to see later on Rabbi Yosef, the son of the Rabbi Yehuda, in the Gemara Betzach Chaf Amud Aleph over there, that the machloket is on semicha itself, which means as a machloket, do you need to do semicha or not, even on the regular day? Okay? So, Kamashmalan, Rabbi Yochanan coming to teach us, Bishvut hu difligi. Over here, whole discussion is on the Rabbanan part of it. Nobody talking about the Oraita part of it, that you don't need to do semicha at all. That there is no such a thing as semicha on the regular day. So whole discussion about on Yom Tov, according to Rabbanan, that we are talking about. We're not talking about basically a regular day. Also, you don't need to do it. Okay, that's what we think from over here. Now, Amar Rabbi Bar Chama Shema Mina, Rami, the son of the Chama. We say we learn from here, but from who? What Rabbi Yochanan said. There's a machlon on the Shevut, the Rabbanan. Semicha bechol kocho ba'ina. When you say leaning on the korban, you have to lean on it. Before shechita, you know you need to do it bechol kocho. What does bechol kocho means? Right, with all of your might, strength. You have to lean on it really, completely. If you want to tell me, lo ba'inan bechol kocho, if you want to tell me, you know what, you don't need to lean on it with all your might, your strength. My covet is mutar. You're not using ba'ale chaim lismoch. So we have to say, what we're saying is asur over here midarabbanan. You are using the animal because you lean on it completely all the way. That's when it's asur. But if you don't do it all the way, there's no isur over here. Okay, so that's so far understanding what's mahut, the way you should do the semicha. So Gemara asks a question. Meitiv, they ask a question in the yeshiva. In the Braita, in the beginning of the Sefer Vayikra, Daber Bnei Israel. You should talk to the Jewish people. And it says later on, V'samach, he leaned on his hand on the head of the Olah. And then we learn from here, Bnei Israel somchin ve'en benot Israel somchot. So it says Bnei Israel. We learn from here only who does the semicha? Only the boys, the sons. They should do this mitzvah, not the girls, not the daughters. Okay, because you need to do it all the way. Bechol hakoach, all the strength, all the might you have. So it's a part of the avodah b'kodashim. The part of the basically bring the korban in the Beit HaMikdash. Rabbi Yossi ve Rabbi Shimon omrim benot Yisrael somchot reshut. According to them, the woman, they could do it also. Reshut. What does reshut mean? Huh? They could do it. Reshut. They're allowed to. They have a permission to do it. Okay? So now, what's the point of this writer? What is the whole thing? Well, we have to bring this over here. Huh? Why? Who cares the boys and girls, all this thing? What has to do what we did talking before? We learn from the Rabbi Rami Bar Chama that you should be bechol kocho. Okay?
Maybe that the women, even if they bring korban, they don't need to do the smicha, and the men have to.
I know what it has to do with our discussion. We said about the Akoin Rami Bar Chama that you need to go bechol kocho. What is right? It's a meitive. We had a question, right? Meitive means we have a question. Okay, what are you saying?
Like further?
Okay, we go further.
Yeah.
Okay, so we go further. Amar Rabbi Yosef. So Rabbi Yosef said, Sachli Abba Elazar, Pam Achad Hailanu, Egel Shel Zivche Sholamim, Vehevenuhu Le'ezrat Nashim, Vesamchu Alav Nashim, Lo Mipene Shesemicha Benashim, אלא כדי לעשות נחת רוח לנשים. So he says we wanted to bring a korban, and we go to Azarat Nashim the Bet HaMikdash, and we let the woman to lean on it, just to make them happy. Not really they have a mitzvah to do it, just to make them happy. Okay? Okay? If you're telling me that we really need to lean on it with all your koach, for all your might, mishum nachad ruach lenashim abdinan avodah bekodashim. If you're telling me that really just to make them happy we are doing this, to satisfy the ladies to do it, how can you make something mutar, which is asur, working the kodashim? Have to say, just you don't put your hand on it. You're not really part of the, all the way you have to lean on it. Just, it's very light lean, not bechol kocho. So what you see from here is going to be question on who? On Rami Bar Chama. Rami Bar Chama said, you need to lean all the way. You see from here, you don't need to lean all the way. Just a little bit is enough. That's going to be okay. Gemara says, that's not the question. Le'olam. You know what? I will tell you, Ba'inam bechol kocho. You're right. You need to do it all the way with all your might. How come? Over here we said not. Da'ama lehu akfu yadaichu. What they did?
So the avodah b'kodesh, the mitzvah itself is to lean with all your might.
Okay.
And they told the nashim not to lean with all their might, so they don't do the mitzvah, they don't do the avodah b'kodesh. Just do like fake smicha. Just put your hands lightly on their head. So they didn't really do the avodah b'kodesh. So there is no stira.
So what reshut they have to do it if they didn't do it all the way? I don't get it.
I didn't understand.
Okay, so Gemara asks question now. Ihachi, it wasn't complete semicha. So how does it work? Lo mipenesh semicha benashim. So they are not part of doing the mitzvah. They're not doing all the way. You telling me you should do bechol kocho with all your might, and you telling me they just did it for fake. So they're not part of it. Okay? How does it work? Tepukle the enal ismicha kelal. Isn't that the case? They don't have any portion in this mitzvah. So they don't have a part in it. Amar Rabbi Ami chada ve'od Amar. You know what was the kavanah of the Abba Elazar? Chada, what does it mean? One and od kamar. Chada, the first reason, deletal ismicha kelal. They don't have any semicha. Ve'od, כדי לעשות נחת רוח לנשים. What does it mean? חדה ועוד כמה.
Two things in one sentence.
Who said this? Rabbi Elazar.
Yeah.
That was who it was,
Rabbi
right?
says that Rabbi Elazar said two things in one sentence. What did he say?
Abba Elazar. So they are not part of it.
what did he say?
Teaching two things.
Okay, very nice.
של תמיכה בנשים, אלא כדי לעשות נחת רוח לאנשים. זה מה שהוא אמר, נכון?
Right.
לא מפני שתמיכה בנשים, אלא כדי לעשות נחת רוח לאנשים. לא מפני שתמיכה בנשים, they didn't even do סליחה. Second one, כדי לעשות נחת רוח לאנשים.
One is it was not real smicha.
Okay.
Number two is they don't have to show that they don't have to. It was a satisfaction. Therefore, they don't have a shiur for smicha, even though this wasn't.
So this is not a semicha.
Yeah.
And what they did just to make them happy was nothing, basically.
Yeah.
Right?
Because to show that they don't have a shiur.
Mm-hmm. So it comes out the ladies they don't have a shiur.
Yeah. Why? That's why he says they just did it to make them happy, because you wouldn't have to say that if anyway it's not actual semicha. So why did they add that part? To show just to make them happy, not because they have a shiur.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
So even Rabbi Yosef and Rabbi Shimon, that they allow נשים to do סליחה, it's not all the way סליחה. So they don't do עבודה בקודשים.
So it is not. So this is. So but this is not called semicha, though, right? This is not really semicha. Okay. So they didn't do semicha. Fine. Amar Papa Shemamina. What we learned from what Rabbi Yochanan said, that you cannot do it on Yom Tov because of the using the Baalei Chaim. Sedadin Asurin. The Sargadatach Sedadin Mutarin Lismoch Arosha. I don't know why the Rosha is really Sedadin. Elalav Shemamina Sedadin Asurin. So we want to learn from what the Rabbi Yochanan said, that you cannot do semicha on the head of the korban on Yom Tov because it's asur. But you want to learn that sides should be fine. Okay? If you want to tell me the sedadin are mutarin, that you could do it lismoch sedadin mutarin. I don't know why I said arosha. What gives you have?
How you do the slicha? You lean on the head of the animal?
Right.
The head or back? Like, you're not gonna die?
Hmm?
You're gonna die?
They don't do it that hard that you're gonna die.
You say you should do it with all your might.
Oh, you're right, he's not gonna die. You sit on the animal, he's gonna die? Give you a ride?
They're very strong.
It's gonna die, not because
They're like 2,000-3,000 pounds.
you sit on a couch, you're gonna die?
No, cow, I thought it was a sheep.
Sheep even? Oh. Goat, that's pretty strong.
Putting 200 pounds.
Shemamina sedadin asurin. The salgadata sedadin mutarin. When the sedadin is mutar, lismo harosha. So now, why rosha? It's a question with listening rosha. What is rosha? Why sedadin should be mutar?
Because the isur is to ride on the animal. So
You don't use it, right? You don't use the sides.
you don't hear what it says that במשנה בביצה ל"ו ב',
Oh yeah, I learned that one.
it says that you cannot use the animal on Yom Tov. They mean not to ride on the animal, on the back of the animal.
So the back is asur.
So maybe you
The
can say
side should be mutar. Back you use it. So that's going to be asur. If sedadin, if you tell me sedadin is mutar, the head should be a mutar too. Why? He says asur to lean on his head. We want to learn from here. Also, sedadin is asur. Just the head, you don't use it. You cannot lean on it. On the side, also you cannot lean. Because if you're telling me the whole reason you cannot lean on it because of the shavut, chachayim made it asur, to ride on them, that only the parts you're going to use for riding going to be asur, which is only the top. But the side should be mutar. The fact that we know you cannot lean on the head is coming to teach me even the parts you don't use is going to be asur. The whole thing going to be asur. Okay? That's what we're saying. Rav Ashi Amar, afilutem asedadim mutarin. Rav said, you know what? Sedadin also going to be mutar. Why? Kol devahade gaba ke gaba dami. The whole part on the top, they're going to consider the top. Okay? So what does it mean? When you say the head is asur, doesn't mean the sedadin is going to be asur. Sedadin is going to be the same height of the top of the animal. Anything at the same height on top of the animal is going to be asur. Sedadin goes down. It's lower. So once it's lower, it's going to be mutar. That's what we're saying over here. So according to Rav Ashi, sedadin going to be mutar. Only the head is asur. Right. Right. That's what it is. The head going to be asur. Yeah. Yeah. It was short. So let's go to the next one. Yud Zayin. Okay, a few more daf. We're going to finish with Zashin Perek Sheni. Chaf. Yeah. Zash. Okay. How many parakim we having, Chagiga? 3? Okay. 20. Okay, so we finished most of it so far. Yeah? This is life. Okay. Let's go. But we go further, it's going to be a bit harder. Okay? So don't get so excited. Huh? Okay. Beit Shammai אומרים, מביאים שלמים. Beit Shammai said, you should bring korban shalamim on Yom Tov. ואין סומכים עליהם. But you don't do semicha on it. According to Beit Shammai, because you cannot use Ba'al Chaim on Shabbat, you cannot do it. Do it the day before. אבל לא עולות. But you cannot bring korban olah on Yom Tov. Why? Because korban olah, everything gets burned. Everything gonna go for Hashem. And you cannot do on Yom Tov something unless you do it for the people. Interesting. Since people, they cannot use it, you cannot be on Yom Tov. Very interesting. Huh? Unless what? What does it mean, Olat Tamid? So what? Why you cannot bring it the Ola? If you can Olat Tamid, why you cannot bring the regular Ola from the Yom Tov too? I don't know. Okay. Uvet Hillel argues. Omrim, they say, Mevi'in, Shalamim Olot. Olot also you bring on Yom Tov. Vesomchi Alem, do Semicha. And Yom Tov itself. Okay. So according to Beit Shammai, you bring Shalamim, not Olot. According to Beit Shammai, you don't do any Semicha on Yom Tov. Uvet Hillel, you bring both, and you do Semicha also. Wow. Such a machlok. Now, what?
What did you say?
Who? But Hillel says you could bring a shalamim and olot and do semichad. What? That's okay. Let's see. Very nice. Now Mishnah got to bring a machloket between Bisham and Hillel that what's the time of the korbanot when it comes to Chag Shavuot on Erev Shabbat? Okay. Atzeret. What is Atzeret? The Shavuot, Chag Shavuot. Shechal liyot be'erev Shabbat. It falls on Erev Shabbat, Friday. I don't think we have it these days. We have?
No, it doesn't ever fall out.
We have.
Yeah,
We have.
what did last week?
Okay. Okay. Beit Shammai Omrim. Beit Shammai says Yom Tevuach. Achar HaShabbat. Wow. According to Beit Shammai, the korbanot you bring for the Chag, Olat Reya, Shalmei Chagiga, is going to be after Shabbat. You cannot bring on Yom Tov, right? You're talking about the Korban Ola. I don't know what was Shalmei Chagiga, why you cannot bring on Friday. Everything after Shabbat. V'etzirel omrim en Yom Tevuach, Achar HaShabbat. You don't need to do it after Shabbat. You could do it on Yom Tov. Umodim sheim chala liyot b'Shabbat achar HaShabbat.
Is it because it's going to burn on Shabbat?
Both of them, they agree that you cannot bring it on Shabbat. Okay? On Shabbat, you cannot push away Shabbat because of the korbanot. Okay? So Mishnah goes further. En Kohen Gadol mitlabesh bechelav. Kohen Gadol does not wear his clothing, his begadim. Mutarin behesped utanit. We're talking about Yom Tavuach, which is on Sunday. So Kohen Gadol doesn't need to wear his clothing, and is mutar on that day to have eulogy and tanit. Shelo lekayem divrei haomrim aseret achar Shabbat. Why? Because Sedukim, they used to say the Shavuot is always after Shabbat on Sunday.
He doesn't wear clothes for Shabbat?
Who?
Kohen Gadol.
His clothing with Kohen Gadol's clothing. So you don't want to say today is Shavuot. Okay?
So what clothing doesn't wear? The ones that he wears every day or the ones that he wears on Shabbat?
What's Shavuot? Shavuot? Who has clothing on Shavuot?
You said that Shabbat is not the same. But Shabbat,
Kohen Gadol has clothing, right?
yeah.
That's our clothing all the time. He doesn't wear it on Sunday.
Okay. Why not?
Because if you do it on Sunday, Sedukim, they're going to say, this is the following what we say. Shavuot is Sunday. So they're not going to wear the clothing of the Kohen Gadol. Probably he wears like the regular Kohanim.
Oh.
Instead of 8, he's going to do 4. That's what it means. I think. Okay? That's they're going to do. Fine. So now this is a Mishnah. Let's see what's the Gemara going to say to us. He says over here, Amar Rabbi Elazar, Amar Rabbi Yoshaya. Says, Rabbi Elazar says in the name of the Rabbi Yoshaya, Minayin la'aseret, how do we know on the Shavuot, sheyesh la tashlumin kol shiva. For Chag Shavuot, there is such a thing, and you could make up your korbanot, the korban reya chagiga, for 7 days. If somebody didn't bring the korban Shavuot, he has 7 days to make it up. How do we know? Shenemar, it says in the Torah, B'chag HaMasot, U'b'chag HaShavuot, U'b'chag HaSukkot. The pasuk says, Chag HaMasot, Chag Shavuot, Chag Sukkot. Magish Chag Shavuot leChag HaMasot. Over here, the same sentence after Chag HaMasot. מה חג המצות? יש לו תשלום כל שבעה. Just like the Chag Matzot Pesach, you have 7 days for the Korban. Okay? Very nice. So now you want to ask a question. Ve'ema makish l'chag Sukkot. Maybe you want to say you have to do the hekesh. They're going to be equal to each other, similar to each other. Shavuot to Chag Sukkot is in between. The Torah says the Chag Matzot, Chag Shavuot, Chag Sukkot. Okay. מה חג כזו יש לה תשלומים כל שמונה? חג Sukkot, you have 8 days to make it up. So maybe Shavuot also like Chag Sukkot. Chag Shavuot יש לה תשלומים כל שמונה. So Gemara says Shemini regel bifnei asmo. The 8 days of the Sukkot is the Chag by itself. And the Sukkot also has only 7 days to make up. So don't say to tell me it has 8 days. So Gemara says, no, that's not a good answer. Emur, I will tell you, the Amri Shemini regel bifnei asmahu Hani mili le'inyan Pazar Gashav. Maybe the 8 days is the Chag by itself only when it comes to Pazar Gashav. What's it Pazar Kashav? Avayan Tashlumin Derishon Hu Ditnan, as we learned. Mi shelo Chag biyom tov rishon shel Chag choyet kol haregel biyom tov ha'acharon. You understand the question? One more time. You telling me that the 8th day is a Chag by itself. Has nothing to do with the Tashlumim of Sukkot. But I could tell you, when I said the 8th day is Tashlumim by itself, we're talking about Pazar Kashav. What is Pazar Kashav?
6 things where Shemini Atzer is different from Sukkot.
Okay, what are they?
Hayis,
So what are these? Goral, Pais is Goral, right?
You don't
To-
have to go after the sheep and out and the house of God.
Okay, what is the Goral?
When you have like, the first Sukkot talks about it.
What does it say?
So, or listen there, like one that they do the go around who gets the sheep and who gets the cow. To give like
I think we're talking about 24 Mishmarot.
yeah.
The lottery of the 24 Mishmarot. The 24 families, they were working in the Beit HaMikdash, right? Okay? So therefore, we don't have such a thing. When it comes to Regalim, all of them would do 2 together. Okay? Very nice.
How that says had a lottery or didn't have a lottery.
I think it didn't.
So everybody would be there.
Right. Zaman, what is Zaman?
Time.
We say Shechianu. Is a new Chag, we say Shechianu. Regel, what is Regel?
Time. Oh, sorry for that.
Rashi says it doesn't call Chag Sukkot anymore. Okay? You don't call it Chag Sukkot. It's a Regel by itself. Korban, what does it mean Korban? It's not like the Sukkot. By Sukkot, it's different Korban. It goes down every day, less and less. Shiur, what is shiur? The shiur is different on the Chag. And bracha. What is bracha? They used to give a bracha to the king on the Shemini Chag. Okay? That's what we're saying. Okay, that's first thing is different. When it comes to tashlumin, maybe you could say that there is tashlumin on that day. How? Because we learned, if you remember, mi shelo chag, הנה במקום חגיגה, ביום טוב הראשון של חג, חוגג את הרגל, יום טוב האחרון. It's a יום טוב האחרון. He wants to say, this applies to Sukkot too. So יום טוב האחרון. Okay? The Gemara says, this is a famous line in the Gemara. Remember this forever. He says, תפסת מרובה לא תפסת, תפסת מועט תפסת. What does it mean? Yeah, basically, so many things you want to take, and you don't know which one to take. Take the smaller one. For sure, you're gonna keep it. Okay. You wanna get the big one. You take the bigger one. Wasn't supposed to be yours, and you're gonna lose it, I guess. So why? So what we do over here? Over here, we say the Shavuot is. If you say Shavuot like Chag Sukkot, and you say had 8 days, you cannot say like Chag Pesach. It's 7 days.
So why you say in the same pasuk then Pesach also has 8 days?
Right? Oh, it says 7 days.
Yeah, but we have Sukkot, which is, if you say that you're going to get from Pesach to Shavuot, you can get from Sukkot to Pesach.
One time?
No, you said that since it's in the same pasuk, since Pesach and Shavuot are the same pasuk, Sukkot is in that pasuk too. So there should be 8 days.
We want that's it. Answer the Gemara exactly. Tafasta meruba lo tafasta. Tafasta meruba tafasta. Take the smaller one.
Oh, so that's why you take 7?
Right. Oh, Gemara asked a question now. If that's the case, and finish this, I want to finish this part. Get to the next part. So, that's the case. Ela lemay hilcheta katre rachmana lechak hasukot. Why it says the chak hasukot in the pasuk? Huh? Why you having the pasuk? La'akshuya lechak hamasot, ma'ak hamasot, ta'un linam, ab chak hasukot, ta'un linam. It's coming to teach you another halacha. Just like chak hamasot, somebody goes to the Beit HaMikdash, he needs linam. What does it mean, lina?
Staying overnight.
Right? And Musay Yom Tov, you stay there until the morning. Chak hasukot also, whoever go to Beit HaMikdash is going to stay there until the morning. Okay? I just want to see this is a good place to stop. No, a little bit more. Gemara says, "V'hatam in Chag HaSukkot menalan." That we know we need the lina, dichtiv, ufanita, v'avoker, v'lachta lo halecha. It's in the morning you should go back. You should not go back at night. So we learn from here by Pesach you need to stay overnight. So therefore we have Sukkot in the same pasuk. It's gonna come teach you that also should be you stay there overnight. Okay. Let's do halachot for today until 6:20, and I have to leave. Please forgive me. Originally, they wanted me to be there 6:10. I said no. Okay. Let's see where we are. So we learned yesterday. So we finished the Sheyan Chazara. Right. Yeah. Let's start. I don't know. We should do Hatmana or not. How much is going to be useful for us? Okay. I want to do Halachot Borer with your permission. Okay. This is. I think you're going to enjoy it if you don't run away. Let's see. Where is the Borer? Here. Muhsem. What does borer mean? Separate. Very nice. So now we're going to talk about borer. First, we're going to learn today, before I do the other part, I wanted certain things you know for sure. I just want to remind you, we assume you don't know anything when it comes to the shiur, okay? So we're going to do Isur Borer. Isur Borer means separating on Shabbat. Now, if you follow through 3 rules, you're going to be okay. It's not considered Borer, okay? And other way around. If you do it other way around, it's going to be Asur. In order to be Asur, you should take out Pesolet. Basically, Pesolet means the bad part from the food. That's Asur, okay? Or somebody comes use Keli Hamiyuchad Leberera, which means a vessel which is designated for separating. For example, sifter. Okay, you have a sifter. If you use it, it's asur. Regardless what you do, you cannot use it. If somebody comes and separate them to eat them much later, not right away. This is going to be asur. Okay? Now, how do you do it? That to be mutar, exactly opposite what I told you now. You take the food you want to eat, the good part. You don't do it with a vessel that designated for separating. The third one is you eat it right away. Now we're going to explain what does right away mean. This is going to be explained. So once you do this 3 conditions, good from the bad with your hand and right away, you'll be fine. Okay? That's the halakha of the borer. Now, we're going to go one by one, explain each one by itself separately, which means, you see over here, if somebody comes, it takes out the bad part from the food, it itself, he did Isur min HaTorah, Chaya min HaTorah. Even though he did it with his hand, even though he ate it right away, he just took the bad part out, it's going to be Asur min HaTorah. There is no different than turning on the fire on Shabbat, or you come and take out the bad part from the good part. That's going to be Asur min HaTorah. So if you had a Beit HaMikdash and they gave the warning to this person, and they had basically edim, witnesses, he's going to get sekila for this. This is about how bad it's going to be. Okay? That's what it is.
Bad is bad general, right?
Let's see what's going to be. We don't know what the bad is. We call it pesolet now. Okay? Let's see what's going to be. What does it mean bad?
If you have a drawer which has forks, spoons, and then you have a straw, you say, "Oh, what's this straw doing here?" It's not a food, but you take out the straw.
Very good question. We get there. Don't take it out yet. It's a good question. Let's say you want to set the table. It's a question we're gonna get to. You want to set the table. What do? You have mixed forks and spoons. How do you set the table? One side you put the spoon, one side you put the fork. You have to separate them. Are you allowed to do it or not? It's better than, in your case, it's better than him. His case, huh? Huh? Okay. So you're saying it's okay? Okay. Let's see.
You want to remove something, not even to use it, but you want to remove something.
Let's say, okay, now you say in that case, what about I just want to use the forks? Take the forks out. Can I put the spoons away and use the forks? Okay. Right. So let's see. First, we're going to talk. I'm not going to the time now. Possession tomorrow, we're going to talk. 2 foods are mixed, but both of them are foods. But you want to eat one of them. They're not going into the garbage. Am I allowed to take the one that I don't want or not? When you say pesolet, pesolet means something goes into the garbage, is bad, or something you don't want. Okay, come back tomorrow.